Hi everyone. Well, it's been a couple of days, hasn't it? I've been obsessed with the garden. Um, Honestly, just about everything's planted that needs to be planted now. The weather is insane. It's like 92 yesterday, 88 today. I mean, it's pretty hot out, and wherever I'm following the shade around my yard. And but sometimes you just got to get out in the sun. So we got out really early this morning and just tried to beat that direct sunlight. Let's see, we've got the tomatoes in most of the buckets for the rain gutter. I think, and yeah, all of the buckets for the rain gutter garden. So that's all done and functioning, and everything's growing. And those peas in that pot that I said weren't growing, they weren't even peas. The package was mislabeled and it was lettuce. So that lettuce is ready to pick now. I know, pretty crazy. So, it's just great. I mean, it's wonderful. The birds are returning and hanging out in really hot weather. So, again, I always say so far so good. Just stay in the moment, and I'll deal with whatever comes down the pike, right? Oh, and those 500 tomato seeds that we sowed, they're just popping up. Most of them this year came from Tomato Fest. I wanted to try their colder, varieties that did better in colder temperatures. And of course, now it's really super hot, but we'll see. They'll grow. But I didn't get around to the seeds that a few of you had recommended that come from the Ukraine. But I am going to do that next year. I used a couple of packets of the Baker Creek. That's all I had. I'm draining. That's a whole nother thing. We're going to get into the C60 here today. But what we're going to do is keep one or two tomato plants from each variety that I got from Tomato Fest. Oh, and I got a bunch of them too from a subscriber in Philadelphia. So I just want you to know that I planted all those tomato seeds. Okay, they're all planted. They did not go to waste. All that I have left, I think I'm going to do rutabaga, and I need to do my zucchini. So that's really all that's left that I want in now, because now it's warm enough to do it. All the spring veggies are all in. Now, after this, it's just planting something because I want to plant it. It's not like I got to hurry up. Not that I ever have to really hurry up, but you know what I mean. I felt a little under the gun with the spring veggies, because I do like to plant early. But you know what? It all just worked out beautifully. I've had a little help this year, which has just been amazing. And Joe took 3 days off. Well, it was holiday weekend, but usually he works holidays. But he took that off, and so he's been out there really wrestling with the tomatoes. He's Mr. Tomato Man. He's really, really good with the tomatoes, so that's great. And so now I'll just plant vegetables in indiscreet places in my yard and see what I can get away with. Yeah, I'm going to be sneaky. I am. Okay, let's talk about C60. So I went to my practitioner, and this is an interesting ride, you guys. I told you that I'll hit days and I can tell I'm detoxing. I know exactly what's going on. I've been through this before. I've told you I have heavy metals in my system. I got a lymphatic massage in my skin, and this is not to deter anybody. Many of you don't have the metals that I had in my system. So, just take that with a grain of salt, because this is a personal journey, and there's now a Facebook page for people that are taking C60, and a lot of them are saying that it's like 7 months to detox. And, some say, oh yeah, a couple of days. Well, that isn't what many others are saying. They're saying 7 months, and I would, just judging where I'm at, what I've been through, I would say, yep, I bet that's true, But after I had that lymphatic massage, my arms felt like they were literally on fire. I mean, I've never had that. I've had a million massages in my life, lymphatic, reflexology, acupuncture for 20 years, you name it. I have never had that reaction. And so then these kind of like scabs showed up, and I knew exactly what it was. I knew it was toxins. I knew that's what it was. I was laid out for a day, drank a lot of water. So for those of you who have some health issues, you can do this. You have to be with a practitioner that can help you. So I'm going to explain to you kind of what this journey is. We're going to just go from it from beginning to end. We're going to do it really, really quickly, okay? So I'll try not to make mistakes when I move fast. That's not always the best thing for any of us. So let me take this and move it around. We're going to look at things here. Okay, so we're in my kitchen today, which is kind of nice. All right, so here's when, this is the beginning of the journey. View file. All right, so this was from April 11th. I had been on the purple power for a month, and you can see all these lakes. Now these lakes are inflammation. This is dry cell analysis, live blood analysis. That's what I'm showing you. So that's pretty significant. So that's in the gut, right? And you can see a lot of inflammation, which I can attest to. I had mold, I had candida, so it left its mark. All right, so let's move on. All right, next. Oh, come on, don't do this to me. Okay, moving on. All right, now we're going to go to 423. All right, this was after 2 weeks on the C60, Bob Greska C60. And some of you have already seen, look at that. That's crazy. So you can see a lot of that really healed up. And I can tell you that's exactly how it felt. Exactly how it felt. Okay, I felt so much better. All right, next. Going to this again. All right, now we're going to go to, is this the, oh, this is 524. So this was just recently. Look at that. Can you see how much healthier that is? Now that's the outer. That's the outer like gut. That's what it represents. That cell represents the outer intestinal tract. Can you see how everything's closed up, but you can see how healthy that's getting? Okay. All right. All right. So now here's an important thing. Excuse me. I'm still cleaning out, so you're going to hear me cough, and I'll get to what that all actually was. Okay. Do you see the dark spots? Do you see that? All right. So when you have a lot of inflammation, it's almost like layers. Like the inflammation has to go down or just dissipate completely before you can see what's under it. And what you're seeing there now is parasites, right? So that's what's there. Now, in C60 deal with parasites, I know it's antiviral, but I'm not taking that chance. I don't know. I don't think enough studies have been done on it. So I'm taking a homeopathic, excuse me, I'm taking a homeopathic that is going to clear the parasites. And I'll tell you what else I'm taking too. That's going to help this episode. Okay. Now you see this? This is, okay, there's this is the live blood. There are, is it 10, maybe more, 10 different stages that the blood is pictured when you do live blood analysis. So when I first started the live blood, and her microscope wasn't working with the camera, so we couldn't capture it, but I'm just going to tell you. The first one I did was like 4 steps from my blood being perfect. The second one I did was 3 steps from my blood being perfect. Now this one is the step before my blood is perfect. And can you see how they're stacking? Well, they're stacking because the toxins are not getting out fast enough, right? So it's literally clumping up. So I'm now taking homeopathics that will drain the lymph, plus doing lymphatic, plus doing craniosacral. Now, I didn't know this, but the liver and lungs share a meridian. So when the liver is backed up, you get these things like coughing. You can just hear what's going on with me right now. Except this is from the homeopathics I'm taking, which are draining my lymph. And that means in my head, my cheeks, anywhere there's a lymph, it's draining. And I'll tell you, Joe and I coughed for a solid day, and our lungs were completely clear, and now we're coughing again. He even lost his voice. Now, I've got a history of being a heavy smoker. I haven't smoked since 1989, but I smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day when I smoked. So you can, that stuff can really lurk for a long time. So, and Joe, he still occasionally smokes, and he's smoked since he was 13 years old, and he's 65 now. So you can see that, we have a lot of toxins to cut. We have a very colorful lives that we are trying to clean up from. Okay, so let me get out of this. Okay.